Hey everyone, so I'm in the shop today. It snowed again last night and it all melted today, so it's like an inch of rain again. So I've never seen it this wet in October, to be water all over the place. Maybe once, I can't remember, but it's been a long time. So anyway, today I've been pumping water to one of our other dugouts, and that the cows drink from. And I have here, this is a Honda, you can see on this side. This is a Honda with a 5-horse GC 160 engine, and it has one of these Pacer or usually these are called Pacer or banjo pumps, the housing pumps. Now I've got, I've got 4 pumps. I had 2 like this. I had 5, because I had 2 like this. And with these plastic housing pumps, right here, I had one on my water truck, and I had the hard plastic hose on here going to each tank, and it was pushing down. A lot of pressure on here, and what it did was it pulled the threads out of the plastic. Actually, no, it pulled the threads out of the aluminum housing in the engine, and it buggered that engine. But my dad kind of fixed it, and he put that he kind of plugged off one of on the mounting holes there. It actually went right into the case. So he actually plugged it off with silicone and threaded small bolt, and put it on the garden tiller. So I have another pump casing here just sitting here, and I have actually a rebuild kit for it. But what I'm doing today is I'm pulling this thing apart to put a rebuild kit in it, because I don't know, they never seem to last in these pumps, especially if you have a little bit of the suction hose is sucking up a little bit of rock or fine dirt. So I went to the local PV Mart and bought a rebuild kit. I bought a few of these already. So what I'm doing now is I got all the bolts out, and I'm just in the process of pulling it apart. So let's go pull it apart. So I got the pump housing off, and I took the elbow off too, because I want to put some more Teflon tape to make sure I have a good seal there, because it leaks sometimes with the pressure and that. I'll probably be taking this one off too. So I got that off, and then the next thing would be, let's see here, how does this go? This would be like that. I already took this off. This is the diaphragm on the pump, and the impeller is in behind it. You take the 3 screws out, one there, one on the top there, and that comes off. Now, as you can see, there's some wear on there. There's probably a rock got caught in there and gouged it out. So when that happens, it's hard to form a tight seal, and it's all about removing, like air locking and getting all the air out. And if the impeller has to fit smoothly against there to make a nice seal, or else it won't pump. And it was getting harder and harder to pump all the time. So I have a brand new piece to put on, a brand new impeller on that kit right there, and all the seals in that. I also have to take that impeller off to get in behind and get at the engine seal, because that one leaks too. So that's my next thing, to get the impeller off, which is usually kind of hard sometimes, because you have to turn down, and it also turns the motor, so you have to kind of jam something in there so it won't turn. But I usually end up, I think I've replaced this impeller. I might have been on the other pump. Maybe I've done this one once. Can't remember, but I'll probably end up busting this impeller off, because it's no good anyway. It has some wear there and all that. And you were probably wondering what this tube is for. And on these engines they have a fuel pump. And what I like to do, instead of filling this little fuel tank up every hour and a half, if I just take the fuel line off, put my own fuel line on, and jam the sucker right into a jerry can of 5 gallons. And that'll last, that would last all day, most of the day. So, and these things are pretty good on oil. I change them all the time. So anyway, let's get that impeller off. I must have had this one off before because it came off pretty easy. I just jammed my ratchet in there and it loosened up. See, and these guys have to have a little O-ring on there for a seal too. So now I have all those new. So now, if I remember correctly, it wasn't to get the nut on the bolt undone. It was to get it off there. That's when they usually get stuck on there, and prying on here usually ended up wrecking the impeller. So I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to end up busting it off. I need something else to jam in there. Another flat. So as you can see, it didn't want to come off. It broke off. And I remember now, that was always the hard part. I couldn't get them off. You had to pretty much bust them off because they're seized on there from the rust. And it's plastic, it shouldn't rust, but the shaft will rust. There's a broken part. But it doesn't matter because it's no good anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my grinder and I'm just going to grind a little bit of that plastic off, making sure not to touch the shaft, and I'll just pound the rest of it off. So as you can see, I ground that part off and I got it to slide off that much already. And what it is it's just hard water rust that rusts on the inside of the shaft, and that's what causes all the problems. And there's the seal that I have to change. Get this thing off here. Sorry about that. I really need a camera woman. Wink wink, nudge nudge. If she's watching, she knows. She knows. Alright, come on. Should have ground a little more off. There's also a square key in there too. There she comes. And that's that. So you don't have to worry, as long as you have a new one, you don't have to worry about breaking it. So I'm going to smooth all this off with the wire wheel and get that all polished up for the new seal. Well, let's see if we can pop this out of here first. Let me see. There we go. Let's get our key out of there. Now the seal will come, and it's not supposed to come in 2 parts. That's supposed to be 1 part. There's the rest of it. So what it does is when you tighten the impeller, it has a spring on here, and it forces it to that side and then forces it against the impeller and makes a seal. But it's supposed to be all 1 piece, not 2. Okay. And there's the metal part of the seal. I'll get that out of there. And now I gotta take these. Do I gotta take these out? Oh, can't remember if I have to take these bolts out to put the seal in. I don't want to. I can't remember. Well, let's open the box and see the new pieces. So I got the box open. And look, voila, brand new. No scratches. Man, that one was really wore out, grooved out, because this is flat. And where's the old one? Right here. Look at the difference. This one it's dished out, and that's supposed to be flat. So that's why I was having a hard time to get it to prime, because it just would not prime. And you can see there's a lip there, and this lip is pretty much wore right off. So I'm assuming this one should have a lot better, a lot easier time to prime and work. So I've got the new impeller, all your gaskets, seals, everything. There's your pump seal in there, shaft seal. So I'm gonna open all this stuff up and start putting it together. So I've got the new impeller. They call it a, what do they call it? It's not the pump body. They call it it starts with a V. There. Come on, focus. Volute. If I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, I got that all on. I got the new gasket inside there. I got the new big O-ring gasket. New impeller. The seals are in, pushed in. I'm ready to put the pump housing back on. I just got a Teflon my 90, and I'll have a brand new pump. These how much do those cost? I think it's like $100 for this whole complete rebuild kit. You get all the new gaskets and all the new O-rings, a couple new screws, and you're pretty much good to go. So I'm going to put this back on, and we'll go try and pump some water. So she's all back together and ready to go pump some water. I'm just going to change the oil. So let's go pump some water.